What's going on, everybody? This is Noah of the OBU Rejects podcast, and I'm here with my co-host. Well, really, not really that much of a co-host, but co-host Rachel Cinsano. How you doing,
Hey
Rach?
guys.
So, lots happened since the last episode, and by a lot, I mean nothing. Literally nothing has changed at all, except, So, if y'all have followed us on Instagram since we've started, you guys will have noticed that we've been kind of slow on Instagram with posting and following you guys back. That's not our fault necessarily. Ever since the last episode, we haven't been able to follow anyone. For some reason, Instagram has blocked our ability to follow people. So we are currently taking it up with Instagram and seeing, hey, what's the deal? And we'll let you guys know in the future if we'll ever be able to follow people, which right now is in limbo. But we do enjoy people following us and subscribing.
And we will follow you back.
We will try our hardest once Instagram gets their heads out of you know what.
Hey. Now they're definitely not gonna fix it.
Well, too bad.
But I went to Lowe's to get paint, and it took me forever because I know nothing about paint. And then who knew there are 50 million different kinds of paint?
The smell of paint makes you cough. Like, I can't take the smell of paint. Like, it makes me gag. I despise it.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not that. If you inhale it, then it's bad. But if you just kind of smell it, it's not that bad.
Well, have you ever I'm assuming you have been there where they're shaking the paint and they crack it open? That smell, I can't be around at that time.
How often are you around that smell?
I get nauseous.
Really?
Yeah, I can't do it.
That's funny. No, when you were a little kid, did you ever go to Lowe's just for the paint colors? Whenever my dad had to go to Lowe's, that was my favorite part of the whole store, was where they have all the paint swabs with all the different colors, and I'd pick out my favorite color. Did you ever do that?
I did not.
Really?
I'm a man.
Because why?
Because I am a man.
That's funny. No, but I was getting paint for a fence, and so I brought in a piece of the fence for the guy to match the color. And I was like, hi, can you match this for me, please? And he was like, yeah, sure. Or I was like, can you match this color for me? And he was like, he wouldn't take the piece of wood out of my hands, and I was holding it out to him. And he was like, he looked at the wood and he looked at me, and I was like, oh, sorry, do you not match paint colors here? And he's like, oh, no, we do. That piece is just really dirty. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry, it's from a fence. And he was like, yeah, it's really dirty. And I was like, I'm sorry, I can go clean it for you, give it to you. It's been outside for years. I don't know what you want me to do.
Having a clean freak work in the paint aisle. What, did he work in the paint aisle?
Yeah.
So it was that guy you go up to who yeah, that's weird.
Mm-hmm. He looked at me like I was insane. I was like, I'm sorry, I can go clean it.
Wait,
he was like, no, it's fine. And picked it up with 2 fingers. I was like, okay.
How long ago was this?
It was before the whole lockdown social distance.
So it was before we went to OBU. It was last summer or something?
I don't really remember.
Okay.
I don't know.
No.
I'm not good with time. If I say the other day, it's anywhere from yesterday to 5 years ago. People get so mad at me for that.
That's good to know. That's something I've known you for almost an entire school year, and I haven't known that. So when you say the other day, it could be. Are you okay? I'm kind of like this, where I remember some things from 5 years ago better than I remember what I did yesterday.
For real, me too. Yeah.
That's such a weird, and memories come up that I didn't even know actually happened a long time ago, randomly.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to hear my interesting story of
Yes.
quarantine?
I want to hear your quarantine story.
So this was 2 days ago, yesterday, something like that. Because I know my days and time on virtual thing. So I Went to a local gas station. They're QT. And if you don't live in Texas, you probably don't know what QT
Noah
is.
is in love with QT.
I love Quick Trip, which is the full name of the gas station if you want to look it up. But Quick Trip QT is the best besides Buc-ee's.
Here we go.
Gas station in arguably I'd say in the United States. It is so good.
Wow. I don't know if I'd go that far. It is good, but I don't know if I'd go that far.
I mean, no, Buc-ee's is the best out of any and everyone because Buc-ee's is amazing.
Buc-ee's is on like another level though. Like Buc-ee's isn't really a gas station. It's like its own thing.
I'd call it a gas station, but
Really? It's like a store.
or would you call it more of a truck stop?
It's like a truck stop / store / restaurant /
It's not,
like,
is it? I mean, I guess you could say it's a restaurant, but it's
yeah,
not,
they have that whole counter, and then they have like the ordering things.
I guess you could say it's fast food,
Yeah,
but it's like gourmet fast food. Like
it's like Texas fast food, like brisket, pulled pork, that
but
kind of
it's
stuff.
like not like cheap Wendy's bacon brisket, whatever.
Oh no.
No, it's like real brisket.
Yeah, and then they have that whole wall of chocolate. You know what I'm talking about? Like the whole wall where it's like the chocolate covered peanuts, the chocolate covered almonds,
Yeah.
like all the candy and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite part.
Okay, so getting back to my story because
Sorry.
we go off, but I went into QT the other day to use the restroom. So, and I'm very singular focused when I have an objective in mind. So when I have to use the bathroom, I'm going straight to the bathroom and I'm leaving. So I went, used the bathroom, was leaving, walking out the door, not thinking. I walked past the coffee machines and there was a cup of coffee right there, which I didn't see. So I was walking past in the middle of the aisle and to my left was the cup of coffee. So I just start walking past it and a woman came up behind me, ran to her coffee, ran to the cup of coffee. And I was like, excuse me, sorry, but I don't want you standing so close to my cup of coffee. I'm like, wait. Then I stopped and I was like, what just happened? Because I didn't even see the cup of coffee.
Were you like 2 feet away or like how far away from the coffee were you?
I was like, the 6 feet away. Like I was on the middle.
Like could you have reached out and touched the cup of coffee?
No.
Okay.
But so she ran up against me, did it, and was like, and just she walked away. But I heard her mutter in her breath something about masks and gloves, and I'm like, okay, that's fair. Like it's fair. I went in there without a mask and gloves, and like if you're upset about that, that's fair. But the thing is, she wasn't wearing it either.
She didn't have a mask either?
She didn't have a mask or gloves on either. So I'm like, if
I would have been mad.
If she had a mask or gloves on, I would have like been okay. My bad. That was my fault. Even if I really didn't believe it was. I'm not wrong with a lot of things.
You should have walked by and coughed on her coffee.
No.
I'm totally kidding.
I was man, I was gonna say something, but I'm like, people have gone nuts.
They really have, I know.
I'm like, they just common sense people. Like I wasn't even like, this is the thing. I wasn't coughing, I wasn't doing anything. I was just silently walking towards the exit. I don't get it.
It's funny how some people overreact so much and then some people just do not care at all. Like, you're kind of one extreme or the other,
Yeah. Well, I think me and you are more of the lean towards more of safe than sorry, but still, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah, for sure. I don't really. My mom thinks we already had it for like
Oh,
she
I'm fully convinced my family's at it.
Yeah, because like over Thanksgiving, I got really sick, like really sick. And so I was at my grandma's, I think. And so my mom took me to the doctor, and the doctor said, she was like, yeah, you don't have the flu, but it's this new virus that's going around. And we've seen a lot of it and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay, whatever. And then the whole Corona thing happened. And my mom was like, Rachel, I swear you already had it.
Well, see, none of my family got that sick, but one of my dogs he still does. He still coughs. And he has this really like dry, hoarse cough that I've never heard before until this started.
Your dog has Corona?
So that's what we're assuming. Now we think it moved on, and now it's just a type of dog cough called the kennel cough, which is what dogs get. But they get it from other diseases. They get it from other viruses.
No, my younger sister Lauren. So we go on runs through the neighborhood. They've been forcing me to go on runs with them, and I fell yesterday again.
Of course you did.
Yeah. So whenever I go on a run, it started when we were on campus. So when swim season ended, I was like, okay, I need some way to stay in shape. And I hate running, but there was nothing else to do. So I was like, okay, I guess I'll go run. Every time I went, I'm not exaggerating at all.
I know.
Every time I went to run, I would fall. Scrape knees, scrape hands, scrape legs, something. I would always fall. But then I got over it. Then like the more I ran, like I was fine. I didn't run anymore. I didn't fall anymore.
Well,
yesterday, I went for a run and my
Rachel,
foot got stuck in my shoelace and I fell.
That's funny. Well, me and you, we work for the World Rundown, which is our sports show, and we were filming a segment of you teaching cross country on how to what was that called? The high jump? Is that what it's called?
So the Roar Rundown has like this back to the basics segment, and it's like a joke. So like the reporter teaches quote unquote the athlete how to do their own sport, but the reporter like obviously is really bad at it, and it's supposed to make the athlete look good or whatever. Until everybody knew I couldn't run, so they decided it'd be funny to have me teach the cross country runners how to run.
Well, so what happened was, and this is still, we think this is what happened. So the day you were telling me about how awful you were at running, so you were telling me how bad you were at running when you go on runs, and I was, joking with you about it. And then the person in charge, our boss, overheard us, and the next day she assigned you to this assignment.
She texted me and was like, will you do this? And I kid you not, I thought it was a joke. I was like, haha, very funny. And she was like, no, for real, I need you to do this. I was like, oh. Yeah, so I had to film a segment about running, even though I am not a runner by any means. But it was fun to film.
It was fun. You fell once.
You know what I want to do this summer?
What?
Well, I want to be able to work, but I want to go to a flea market. Have you ever been to a flea market?
Oh, I love flea market shopping.
Really? Because it always looks like so much fun to me. Like, I feel like you could find a bunch of cool stuff.
Oh yeah, I love garage sale, flea markets. Yeah, that's what my family does. Well, we haven't been much, but we used to. I mean, my dad has stuff getting ready to put on eBay right now. But
like, when you go to a flea market, do you go and just look around, or do you go to buy something?
We go to look around, but if we see something that we think we could sell, we normally jump on it.
Oh, so you like go and buy it and then resell it?
Yeah, most of the time. There have been things that I bought for my own. Like, I have a Sony Walkman.
Yeah.
Like, old Sony Walkman that I kept from a flea market that my dad was going to sell, but I'm like, no, I want this because it's cool of memorabilia that I used to listen to religiously. I used to just put in old headphones and listen to that. Like, every night I'd listen to sports talk or something on it.
That's funny. I had headphones, but then they broke.
Oh yeah, tell that story.
That's embarrassing. They're gonna think I'm stupid.
No, because this is something everyone's gone through at least once.
Okay, so I was cleaning my room, and I wasn't really paying attention. I was just, like, I had music playing from my computer. My siblings were, like, doing their thing. They were being loud. One of my siblings came in to talk to me, and I was vacuuming the floor. So I look up, and I start talking to my siblings, and the next thing I know, the vacuum is like... And I'm like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Did I break the vacuum? So I turned it off, and and I flip the vacuum over and I look at it and my headphones. Oh, sorry. Noah told me that they're called earbuds, not headphones. I'm sorry. The white long strings that go in your ears and into the phone.
No,
Whatever you want to call
You
those.
called them
Had gotten
earphones.
sucked
No, no,
up.
no, 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 no. You called them earphones, not headphones. I said headphones was acceptable. Headphones and earbuds. You called them earphones, which isn't even a thing, I don't think. And if it is a thing, a lot of people are gonna attack me, but I don't care. That's not.
I always called them earphones.
Have
Is
you
it really not a thing?
have you heard people call them headphones before?
I thought headphones were like the thing with the band that goes
Like,
like
doesn't
over
matter.
your ears.
It's the same thing.
Okay, anyway, my earphones, headphones, earbuds, whatever you want to call it, had gotten sucked up into the vacuum. I was so upset. I was like, how? First of all, how did I do that? Second of all, why were they just laying on the floor? Third of all, what am I going to do now? Because it's literally the only working pair of headphones in my house. Oh, the funny thing was, they had already broken, but they worked in one ear and were broken in one ear. So when they got sucked up in the vacuum, one earbud had been left out of the vacuum, but the other one had gotten like literally demolished by the vacuum. And of course, it had to be the working earbud that got demolished by the vacuum. But it's okay. It's fine.
Well, that's me. When like before we had like wireless headphones and like Bluetooth, which my family was real slow on getting those. So we have an abundance of like really cheap wired headphones. So I would use those all the time. None of them have both working. It's either one or the other.
Yeah.
So I could totally relate to that because I would go to bed. I would go to bed listening to one side of my ear.
Yep. I know exactly what you're talking about.
So,
like within 2 weeks, one would stop working. Like one works and one doesn't.
Yeah. Well, like, or sometimes depending on how you plug it in, they would rotate. Like
yes. Oh my gosh, I thought that was just me.
No. So like funny with the Walkman, you had to use those older wireless headphones. So with the Walkman, all the time I had to like jiggle the aux to like either to get any sound or to get it in one ear or the other.
That's so funny. One time I broke off the headphones in my phone and I couldn't get the piece out.
Do that.
Because I was trying to jiggle it. I was at a swim meet and it was like right before my race and I couldn't get it to work and I was trying to listen to music, so I was jiggling it like you said, and I guess I like messed with it too hard and it snapped off and broke in my phone.
Well, this was an older phone before I switched to iPhones. I still do prefer Android.
Hey, I have Android.
But I still prefer Android, even though I'm never gonna fully succumb to the cult that is iPhone.
It's not a cult.
Kind of is. iPhone users is kind of a cult. But so in a lot of Samsungs, it's not the same shape. It's just the normal aux. Well, my old phone, it wouldn't really work, so I kept jiggling it, and I kept mashing it, which isn't the best idea. So I didn't break off necessarily the tip of the headphone jack. Instead, I broke the inside of my phone. So like I jammed it so hard that like it collapsed in that part. So like I could still use my phone and everything, but like it wouldn't work with the headphones because I like jammed it.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the headphones that got sucked up in the vacuum though, that was like the longest working pair of headphones I've ever had. And they were Apple ones, like they were good headphones. They weren't like the cheap, like $2 ones you buy at Target. So I'm kind of sad about it, but it's okay.
Target and Five Below, yeah. But not gonna lie, do you guys have Five Below?
Maybe. I know when we lived in Mississippi, we had this place called Bargain Hut that was basically a Five and Below, and we used to go there all the time. Like that was fun. But I don't know. I'm sure we do. I just don't know.
I think.
You have a what?
Bargain, whatever that's called.
Bargain Hut? You should go. They have like a lot of stuff and it's like pretty it's like good stuff.
Well, there was a place in Tennessee, I can't remember that I went to. It was real trashy. But like you go in and there's essentially a bunch of thrown out items that people threw away. and they're in giant buckets, and you can go and just look at like old like they were selling old PlayStation 3s for like $5, and
Did they
like
work?
it was a gamble.
That's cool. I
Yeah.
love stuff like thrift stores and flea markets and stuff like that. Like I love going to those. Even if I don't buy anything, like just to look around, it's fun.
I mean, the best thing is when you go to one of those places and the people selling have no idea what they really have, and like
Yeah.
they sell it dirt cheap, and you just know this guy's gonna get swindled because well, that was so my family also likes to go to like local auctions and stuff. So that's what my dad used to do. He doesn't really, I don't think he does it that much anymore. But like when we moved to Texas and we lived in Michigan, my dad used to every weekend used to go to an auction, and we bought an old gaming system. I can't remember exactly. This was when we still lived in Michigan, so this was a long time ago. But we bought an old gaming system for like $60-$70 in a lot. It was like a lot of things, and it was this old gaming system. We sold it for like $700 to $800.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
We didn't know we had something until we knew old gaming consoles. We knew that those go for a lot,
Yeah.
but we learned it was like one of their original gaming consoles. So we were like, okay, we're gonna make money on this. The scary thing was we didn't know if it would work because we plugged it in and everything, and it turned on. But I remember it wouldn't connect to the TV or something. So we had to go buy additional wiring and stuff because it didn't have everything we needed. But once we did, we sold it for a good bundle.
Yikes. That's a lot. That's good. Have you ever been to one of those like unclaimed baggage stores? Do you know what I'm talking about? Have you ever heard of those?
No.
It's like, I've only been to one, but it was so cool. It was like any baggage that's never claimed from the airport, they just bring to the store and then they sell it for way cheaper than normal. It's like they have everything. Like they have like clothes, like really nice like business clothes. They have cameras, they have phones, like literally you name it, they have it at the store.
That's cool. Well, my dad works at a car rental, and they have a lost and found with stuff in cars that people have left. So my dad's brought home, because once it's in the lost and found for a certain period of time, the employee's allowed to take whatever they want, or it gets thrown away. So I have beats that were left behind. I got a Nintendo DS that was left behind. I've gotten so much stuff that my dad has brought home from his lost and found.
That's cool. Are you like a big gamer person?
I am not.
Okay, yeah, me. I don't care about it at all. But my siblings have been is Madden kind of like a gaming thing, or is that different? Because it's not like
Madden is a football video game.
I know it's a football video game, but is it like you know how there's like Call of Duty and like that kind of stuff? Is Madden in the same category, or is that different?
What do you mean?
Like 2K and Madden, I feel like are in different categories than like Call of Duty and Fortnite.
Yeah, because
and all
Call
that.
of Duty is a war game, and Madden. What are you saying?
So my siblings aren't into the Call of Duty, Fortnite, PUBG, whatever world.
I will say 2K, and I will say Madden is in its own with fandom. Madden, and most other sports games are in its own category, but 2K, the fandom will overlap with Call of Duty, but like Fortnite.
Okay, so my siblings aren't into that, but they love Madden. So they've been obsessed with Madden during this quarantine thing, and they're trying to convince me to play in their league, and I'm like, you do not understand. You do not want me in your league. Like, I would not know what to do. I would be bored out of my mind. You do not want me in your league. And they're like, no, come play with us. And I'm like, why? It's literally just a time waster.
Is it your brothers?
Literally signing up to waste.
Wait, is it your brothers or is it your sisters too?
All three of my brothers and then one of my sisters. And then they have some friends from their basketball team that they got in their league with them.
I mean, Madden's fun. I enjoy. I'm mostly in the sporting area. I'm not a huge fan.
I just don't think I would. I think I would just be bored.
Well, yeah.
I would like it.
Well, I think like once you get to a certain age, you do grow out of it.
I feel like guys never grow out of it.
What?
I feel like guys never grow out of it.
No, I know some girls that have been stuck in it for quite a while. Too.
Yeah, so not everyone grows out of it, but hopefully you grow out of it and move on to bigger and better things.
Guys that are still deeply into that, and I'm like,
you what? Wait, say it again.
I know some guys at OBU that are like gamers.
Oh, yeah, me too. Like, you're 20 years old.
Hey, but it's not like it was 10, 20 years ago, where that's a weird thing. Like, people view gaming as a legitimate thing now.
Yeah, no, it is. Like, it's a legitimate hobby, but like when that takes more time than schoolwork, I'm like,
well, then again, for example, I use it as an escape from schoolwork.
That's fair.
Because like it's either that or like right now we're all stuck at our house. There's nothing better to do.
Like right now I get, but like I don't know. I just like I can see playing sometimes, but like how do you not get tired of it if that's all you do all day long?
Well, most of the time if I play, I'm playing with other people. And that's a lot of people.
Maybe I just don't know how it works, and maybe that's why I don't.
No, I understand, because I get bored easily too. Now I've certainly grown out of it more than I used to. Like I used to play a lot when I was younger, but I have grown out of it. I just think it's something. I don't know. I get both sides of why some people think it's just a waste of time and why some people are totally into it.
Yeah, but like it's on ESPN.
Yeah, esports is a legit it's.
Well, it's not legit. It's not a legit sport, but it is being put.
I'm not gonna
publicized as a legit sport.
It is being publicized as a legit sport.
Yeah, but it's not.
I've had this argument with people. Because if what in your opinion is a sport?
Something that you have to like physically work and train for. Like, okay, it is a competition. Gaming is a competition. It's a competition. I'll give you that, but it's not a sport. Does that make sense? Like it's a competition, but it's not like a sport you go to practice. Like I understand you could practice for it, but it's not physically taxing.
Okay, I am looking up the dictionary definition of sport.
Okay. In my head, sports is like physically and mentally taxing.
Okay.
And to me, video games is just not physically and mentally taxing. Like.
Okay, this is the dictionary definition of the Oxford Dictionary.
For sports?
Of sport.
Okay.
An activity involving physical exertion and skill in which an individual or team competes against another team or individuals for entertainment.
Gaming has entertainment and it has the competing, but it does not have the physical aspect. In my opinion.
I would say it does have some mental and mental and hand-eye coordination skills.
Yes, but is hand-eye coordination physically taxing?
It can't. I mean, I've seen guys like sweating up a storm and but then again, can you say auto drive? Like, is that a sport? Like NASCAR?
Yes, because like you're pulling G's. Like it's like you're like, aren't you?
Well, I know it does. I know a lot of those drivers, like NASCAR, they get jacked. Like a lot of them.
Because they have all those, like, it's like fighter pilot. Okay, obviously they're not the same thing. But like when fighter pilots take off, it's like all those G's are hitting them. Don't NASCAR drivers kind of have the same thing? Do you know what I'm talking about?
What?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. I know. I do. I just feel like this, if that's the case, then can you call curling a sport?
See, that's where it gets tricky. Cause like I don't know. Is bowling a sport? Like,
I would say there is a lot of skill and physical exertion in it. I would classify bowling as a sport. Yeah.
I think there's like different categories of sports, I guess, if you want to like break it down. You know what I mean?
I'd say esports is a sport, but you can't put it in the same category as other sports.
Like esports, you could maybe put in the same category as like curling, but you couldn't put esports and like football in the same category.
No,
Like that's
not at all.
That's not the same thing.
Yeah, no, not at all. And like those people who say, well, they're just as much as athletes as, I'm like, no.
No, they're not.
No, don't give me
No,
that.
they're not. Sorry if we offend any gamers.
I look like one, so I get that pass.
You what?
I said I look like one, so I get that pass.
I do not look like a gamer. Do I look like a gamer? I hope I don't look like a gamer.
Wow, shots fired at me.
No, not in that way. I meant like a girl version of a gamer. No, that's not what I meant.
I don't know. I feel like girls it's harder because some you totally wouldn't expect to be gamers and they are, and
That's
some
fair.
totally expect would be and like are not interested at all in it.
Yeah. One of my really good friends, Monica, loves all that gaming stuff. And I'm like, yeah, I totally understand what you're saying.
Nope.
Nope. I don't know.
All right,
Whatever.
so now it's time to talk about things that we hate. Paper straws. Okay, so I forget, we had this conversation like 2 weeks ago about paper and the uselessness. So you
It was a
never
long
had
time
a
ago.
paper straw.
I've never used a paper straw. I don't think I've ever even seen a paper, like, I don't think I've ever been somewhere.
They look like plastic straws, but they are horrible.
Wouldn't it just like dissolve in your mouth? Have you ever used one?
Yes. No.
Does it dissolve in your mouth?
Oh, you need to go to Austin and go to like some hip vegetarian vegan restaurant.
You're not stereotyping at all.
Oh, that is all. I don't care. If you live in Austin, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
That's funny.
Or it's like I went to Disneyland and they all had plastic straws.
Paper?
In California, paper straws, yeah. It was all paper straws. And it is the most disgusting thing on the planet. It is gross. It disintegrates in your mouth. And there's some coating on paper.
Ooh.
So that coating comes off when you're drinking. And it like contaminates the drink. It's gross. My thing
You
is,
know what I think about when I think about paper straws? You know, like the toilet paper roll? If you got a toilet paper roll wet, in my head, that's what a paper straw would be like.
yeah, but it's weird. The paper straw doesn't disintegrate in the actual drink. It just disintegrates in your mouth.
That's
Which is-
disgusting.
It's weird and it's gross.
Ugh. What's the texture like?
Paper.
Ugh. So it's like you're eating paper.
It's like you're eating paper.
Okay, wait, but is it like paper or is it more like cardboard?
No, it's paper.
That's gross.
Well, it's like hardened paper.
Yeah.
Like you first start drinking it and you think it's like, and you start drinking it and you think it's plastic. But like, you know, I'm someone who chews on their plastic.
Aww.
I do.
Mm.
But like you can't do that on that, which is also, but like if you're someone who like gotta save the turtles and you don't want to use plastic straws, metal's the way to go.
Metal makes sense.
I love metal straws because it just makes perfect sense.
Mhm.
Why would you use paper?
I
Why
have no
would
idea.
that be your go-to?
So long story short, Noah hates turtles. No, I'm just kidding.
Wow.
I'm just kidding.
I mean,
Yeah, no, I would not want to use a paper straw.
No, it's. Have you used a metal straw?
Yes. I feel like, you know when you like accidentally scrape the fork against your teeth and it makes like that weird sound?
Well, my thing with-
I feel like that's what drinking out of a metal straw would be like.
You have to be careful with metal straws because if you do, even if you don't chew the straw, but you accidentally bite down on it, you could chip a tooth. Like they are tough. So like, you do have to be careful. Like if you like grind teeth against it or something by accident.
I feel like with metal straws, you could only drink like water. Cause like imagine if you drank a smoothie with a metal straw and then you had to clean it. Wouldn't that be hard to clean?
That's funny when you say that. I think I've only drank water with a metal straw.
Yeah, cause like imagine having like a milkshake or a smoothie and then trying to clean out the metal straw afterwards.
Well, then you just put it under the faucet and you
Yeah,
wash
but that'd be like, what if something got stuck in there?
it. True. I feel like it's not as big of a deal as we think it is.
I don't know. The only time I use straws is if I'm at a restaurant.
True. You're one of those people that doesn't like using straws?
I mean, I don't really care, but like we don't really have straws just around the house. Actually, I take it back. Do you know what Bill Miller is? Have you ever been to Bill Miller?
The name sounds familiar.
So they have like these mugs that they sell for $3, and then if you bring it back to the store, you can refill it for 50 cents, and like they last forever. Like my mom has had these mugs for years and years and years, and they're big. And so like she's been trying to get me to drink a lot of water every day, so I'll use the mug to drink water. And the only way it's fun to drink out of the mug is to use a straw. So I have been using a straw, but all we have is plastic straws. So I've been using the same plastic straw for like a while.
Well,
Longer than I want to admit.
I don't get it. Well, there are certain cups. Like my family has cups where it's a metal straw, but it's built in to the lid.
Really?
It's a metal straw. Yeah, so it's in the lid and it's poking out and you can drink out of it. But when you unopen whatever, I'm making this motion that no one can see.
When you unscrew, is that the word you're looking for?
Unscrew the lid and open it. The metal straw just comes out with the lid. But like, and then you can fill it up with water or whatever, and you can just put it back in. But like, I'm like, that's a smart way of doing it. And then you just clean the straw with the cup itself when you're done with it.
Yeah. My sweet mate had like a silicone straw almost. Like it was like a rubbery straw.
Bad.
Yeah, I never drank out of it, but like she'd keep it in her hydro flask and it was like rubbery and weird. I don't know. That I feel like I was like chewing on like old gum or something, I think, if I try to drink out of that.
Weird. How
texture like weirds me out. Like if something has a weird texture, I'm not gonna do it.
How'd you make silicone? Silicone's like
What swim caps are made out of? Some of them.
Yeah, it's like styrofoam.
Silicone? No.
No?
Mm-mm. Silicone's like rubbery almost.
Okay.
Like, you know what a swim cap is made out of?
Yeah. Is that silicone?
Yeah, it's like that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's even grosser than styrofoam cups, which is what I was thinking.
No, it's not a styrofoam cup. It's a styrofoam straw. I mean, a silicone straw.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Oh, okay.
I think we're nearing the end.
I'm sure all our listeners are thrilled that we're done.
Yes. But I will say, this was probably best episode yet. I will put that up there as this is best episode yet, and only to get worse from here.
We listened to it back and we're like, we cannot post this. This is horrible.
We will see. All right.
Bye, guys.
See y'all.